G'day guys, Tim here, the guy in the hat coming to you from Circular Quay in Sydney, and I'm here with my very good friend and associate, the Baron of Bitcoin from Stormrake. How are you, dear sir?
Mate, feeling good, feeling charged, feeling electric. And guess what, guys? You're not bullish enough.
I knew you were going to say that. And quick cheers, Bish, before we get going. There we go. So, what a big week it's been, Bish. It'd be an understatement. Let's get into this because we've had a lot of conversations around Bitcoin this week.
Let's address the concerns.
Okay, so Bitcoin hit an all-time high, 126,000.
On October 6th, 126K is the current peak.
About a 3x move from when we joined or you joined BTR. 3x is not bad.
Not bad at all.
3x is not bad. I think
bad.
that's a pretty good situation for most clients to be in. Most of our clients do remain bullish, and I'd have to say they've done incredibly well. But during the week or early in the week, we had one of our associates say that it's a time to sell Bitcoin. Now, this seems to be a little bit different to our message, our normal message. Can you take us through, first of all, what was your responses to that? And also, what should people be doing on a market where BTC drops in this way? Over to you.
Well, just basically, let's address the elephant in the room. If you want to sell your Bitcoin and you want to buy precious metals, go for it. I encourage you to do so. Right. I just want to say that because I've got a lot of people who have called me a little bit tearful, apologizing, feeling as if that like they're doing something inappropriate or untowards. Guys, I am a Bitcoin broker. I make money when you buy. I make money when you sell. If you choose to buy, excellent. I'll give you reasons to buy. And I'm capitally allocating right now. I'm happy to show you guys that I've been buying. And I've got clients who are buying the dip at the moment. But if you choose to sell and de-risk your portfolio and go towards the safety of precious metals, then by all means, go for it. And you don't need to apologize. I want to be very clear about this. You don't owe me an apology. You don't need to be concerned. You don't need to be stressed out. I don't want to be a part of people's lives where I cause them stress, concern, grief, all kinds of problems that may otherwise come by me just being, finicky and just like, buy, sell, and try to get you in, out. Like, that's not good for you. It's good for me as a broker, but it's not good for you and your portfolio and your mental well-being. So, but let's just get that out of the room. If you want to sell, by all means, you're welcome to do so. I don't want you to feel like you owe me an apology. I don't want you to feel like you can't sell. You certainly can. And there's many ways that you can de-risk your portfolio. So number one, you sell your Bitcoin and you buy and all of your cryptos and you buy physical gold and silver, right? That's option one. Option two, you can reduce your Bitcoin holdings in a proportion to whatever else that you're doing. And then you go out there and you do, for example, you might buy tokenized gold, PAX G, because you don't want to deal with the storage, the price premiums, all of that kind of stuff, the back and forth that would otherwise be required, and the exposure to the banks. If you're moving considerable amount of funds, whether 100K, 200K, half a mil, 50K, you don't want to be doing that through the banks. You might want to just keep it in the Stormrake ecosystem. Pax Gold is there for you. But if you want to buy physical, you can. And then another option is that you can have your funds professionally managed. I think this is something that I've been really cognizant of not introducing to the Beat the Reset community because what's our message? Our message is buy gold, buy silver, buy Bitcoin, and take on zero counterparty risk, right?
Correct.
And we're not traders, we're investors, right? So when the opportunity comes and the market trades at a discount, you buy and you keep allocating. And you sell if you need to, or you can borrow against your funds, or you spend in kind. But there's many ways that you can do it without having to be able to panic going one way or the other, buy, sell, buy, sell. We've got a very clear message to our clients. And I'm going to continue to reiterate this message that as an investor, you buy assets. One of the things that I always say, Sir Tim, is work hard, don't quit your day job, earn an honest living, either being a plumber, an electrician, you're a lawyer, an accountant, whatever it is, you do an honest day's work, you put your excess income into assets in whatever proportion makes sense for you, Bitcoin, gold, silver. We even produced a Bitcoin gold report last year, which was 70-30 Bitcoin gold or 70-30 gold Bitcoin or 50-50. So that way you can understand what happens when you allocate a lot more to Bitcoin or you allocate more to gold. We took them through those concerns early on because I know that volatility is going to come in Bitcoin markets at some stage. We've seen two 30% corrections this year. Bitcoin went from 108 to 74K. Anybody who bought the dip in the 70s and the 80s was handsomely rewarded as we went on to print new all-time highs. I believe that we're going to see a continuation of the bull run. Because are they going to stop printing currency? Are they going to stop racking up massive deficits? Are they going to stop dropping interest rates? Right? Are they going to stop easing into what is historically high inflation? Definitely not. So you're not going to catch me being bearish because that's just not my approach. I am a bull through and through. I was a bull on Bitcoin at 1,000, at 10,000, at 20, at 40, at 80, 130, and even when we're coming back down to 90 odd K that we're at now, I'm not going to stop being bullish. But if you want to try to trade the markets and you want to go one way or the other, buy, sell, flip in, flip out, flip in, flip out, there's many ways that you can do that that is tax efficient and less stressful for you.
Absolutely. And well said, Besh. Very passionate, of course. A couple of things I want to talk about here. The importance of, everybody was saying, we had this sentiment this week of Bitcoin's gone down, sell, sell, sell. What about these two words? Diversification of your portfolio. How important is that?
Yes.
And dollar cost averaging. How important is that?
Absolutely. So guys, I have never, ever told you guys not to buy gold and silver because gold and silver are fantastic assets. Low volatility, very stable, excellent return profile, best performing assets of 2025, second best performing assets of 2024, behind Bitcoin, right? But at no point have I ever told you to sell gold and silver. I believe in diversification amongst scarce digital and physical assets.
Yes.
They have different purposes and they sit on two different ends of the risk spectrum. Bitcoin, risk on asset, high volatility, high growth, high reward, right? That's just the name of the game. You've got on the other side of the spectrum, you've got gold and silver, lower volatility, slightly lower return profile, much more stable, great investment, right? Yeah. Physical, understood for 5,000 years. You're comparing something that has 5,000 years of history as money to Bitcoin, which is 16 years old and has only just had its institutional adoption over the last 2 years of that 16-year history. We're still a very young asset class. So for me, diversification is incredibly important because you need to balance the high volatility, high growth, high return profile of Bitcoin, which has gone up 700% in 3 years, okay, with the safety and stability of precious metals. Now, if you're a more risk-adverse investor, what do you do? If you're risk-adverse, what do you do?
Well, you buy gold and silver.
You lean more into gold and silver. In fact, you should be 70% gold and silver, right? No problems.
And it's a great position.
It's a great position. I'm never going to talk anybody out of that. What happens if you're a bull? Take life by the horns. You're earning good income. You've got a business. You've got wealth behind you. What do?
Volatility.
Volatility, correct. You allocate a little bit more to Bitcoin. What do you do if you're uncertain and you're not sure which way to go?
50-50.
Thank you. Right, guys, diversification isn't that hard. And if you want somebody to professionally manage your funds, Stormrake has a licensed asset management fund in which you can allocate capital towards, and we handle the rotations, the allocations, when do we add on risk, when do we take on risk, all of that is already managed for you. But for the average investor who's sitting at home and wants to have the lowest stress profile investment, just go 70% gold and silver, 30% Bitcoin, sit back, relax, and watch yourself become extraordinarily wealthy. So that's addressing the diversification. The second thing is you were
dollar cost average.
Dollar cost averaging, right? Guys, it's so simple, right? I've been dollar cost averaging Bitcoin for close to a decade. I am comfortable with the volatility. I want to show you guys something, just so you know, because I think a lot of the people have some people have questioned my integrity as to whether I'm leading people down the garden path and what am I doing and all that kind of stuff. I just want to show you guys something. You guys would receive emails similar to this, right? Whenever you buy from Stormrake, yes, you would receive a similar email. I just want to show you guys something. On the 19th of November, I'll show you this right now, once this can play ball, right? 19th of November, 7:43 p.m. I bought myself some more Bitcoin with some excess earnings. I bought 36 grand worth of Bitcoin. I put my money where my mouth is. And when I say buy the dip, and when I say dollar cost average, and when I say we've seen multiple 30% corrections over the last 3 years, and that I remain unfazed, could we go lower? Absolutely. But that's okay. I'm comfortable with that. But this is where I really want my main message in this video is, guys, I want you to do something that you're comfortable with. I am comfortable with the Bitcoin volatility. I am comfortable with buying the dip. I am comfortable with allocating a little bit more. I earn income from Stormrake when people trade with me. With that excess income, I buy Bitcoin. And of course, on occasion, gold and silver as well, because they're fantastic assets. So for me, I just want to keep it really simple for you guys. My message hasn't changed. Allocate to assets, buy the dips, dollar cost average. You can dollar cost average with Stormrake with as little as $500 on an interval that makes sense for you. Weekly, monthly, quarterly. I mean, everybody's got $500 a month to spare. People spend more on that on the pokies and the pub and the piss ups and everything else, right? So $500 a month, and you can buy yourself some Bitcoin, guys. Or you can go on to the other end where our asset management fund, which is a wholesale fund only, it's a minimum investment of $50,000, and you can have your assets professionally managed. And you can have somewhere in between where you buy your gold and silver, stack that stuff, put it in your home vault or store it at the Melbourne vault, or you buy Bitcoin and stack it in your cold storage or leave it with Stormrake, depending on what you feel comfortable with. What I'm trying to convey to you guys is that buying isn't inherently bad, and selling isn't inherently bad either. You can buy and you can sell, but just don't do it on the basis of emotional, fear-based responses. If you're going to buy with conviction. Show me that you're bullish. Dollar cost average. Allocate with size. Allocate with meaning, right? That's what I'm saying. But if you're going to sell, sell with meaning, sell with conviction, and buy other assets. But the aim of the game is to remain invested. That's it.
And the other thing I hear coming out of what you're saying is have a strategy. So if you have no strategy, you're just going to go with whatever anybody says. If you have a clear strategy of risk off, risk on, and you understand the difference, you understand how important these assets are. The other great danger, Fish, for selling out of Bitcoin right now is that if Bitcoin bulls, which it will, it's not even a question, it will bull here.
Yep.
If you sell out of that position and you take a conservative approach in a commodity, then you've got to buy back in. Right. And at which point do you buy back in is the question. And that's a big question here. Like if you're going to buy back into Bitcoin, at what point? 150, 200? Where are you buying back in? And this is the question. And I think this is why you need to have a clear strategy.
Correct.
Just flying by the seat of your pants, selling this stuff whenever the market goes down. And I think that's how a lot of people lose. I've heard people say to me, oh, I lost on Bitcoin. The only way you can lose on Bitcoin is if you sold on the dip or you sold the asset on the dip.
Tim, we've been talking about this since 50K,
Forever.
60K, 70K, 80K. I'm talking about in recent history, right? And my message when Bitcoin dropped from 108 in January of 2025 all the way down to 74,000 in April of 2025, 4 months later, what was my message?
Buy.
Buy. Guys, I'm not changing my tune here. Sue me. I'm bullish, right? I am a bull. And I am
Have you ever stopped buying?
I have never stopped buying. What am I selling for now? If I want to take a more of a risk-off approach and you want to sell some of your Bitcoin and buy yourself some gold, some silver, that's perfectly fine. But this whole 1 and 0, this binary approach, all in or all out, is just not sustainable, guys, in my honest opinion. My honest opinion is have a cornerstone gold, silver, Bitcoin position. And then with some of the excess funds that you want to be able to trade with, you can go from one way or the other. Sam and I have built and developed a gold Bitcoin conversion facility. Before the banks were making our lives a living hell, it was really easy for you to sell one asset, buy the other. And we never changed our tune. In fact, if you want to sell your Bitcoin or a portion of to buy gold and silver, I encourage you to do so, especially if it's the right move for you. What I'm against, and this is something you touched on, is emotional reaction. Have a strategy. That's why I pair you guys with one of my brokers. You've got Alvaro, Felipe, Tushy, Brody. You've got the A team of Bitcoin brokers. You can give them a call and say, look, I'm a little bit scared about what's going on with Bitcoin right now. What are some of my options? We're having a bit of a pullback. Some of our clients called us and said, I've lost $50,000. And we look up their account and they're up 100 grand. They're up. So they at the peak of the market, they were up 150. They pulled back and it went to 100 grand, and they said, I've lost $50,000.
Right.
Nobody turned around and said,
I've made
thank
50.
you.
Right.
Nobody said, thank you, Bishop. Thank you for making me 6 figures in 6 months.
It's the glass is half empty, half full argument, isn't it?
It is what it is, but that's okay. What I'm here to kind of convey to people is that don't make an emotional reaction. You've got Tim, who is just a absolute font of knowledge. You can reach out to him, have a consultation with Kylie, keep yourself chill, cool, calm, and collected. You can have a chat with my brokers, discuss what's suitable for you. And if you give us the instructions to sell, you can sell. Whether you're buying or selling, we want to take care of you. That's my message. That's the reason why I built a human-centric Bitcoin brokerage. Is so that when, the proverbial hits the fan and people want to buy, FOMO, we can give them a staggered buying approach so that they're not like just top blasting all the time. And if they're wanting to sell, they can, but let's do it in a way that makes sense for your portfolio. And it's not just this mad, emotional, sad, telling you lost $50,000 when your portfolio is up 6 figures. Don't give me that stuff, guys. What I'm saying is let's have a plan of action. And whatever that plan of action is, let's execute it with clear focus, clear vision, and no emotional reaction.
Yeah, and I'll quickly touch on that and then we'll wind up. The emotion side. You have a quick drink there, Bishy, because you've been going hard. I want to talk about emotional trading. How important is it to leave emotions out of trading?
It's absolutely integral, guys, right? Whether you're buying or selling, I don't really care one way or the other. I just hope that you choose me as your broker if you choose to buy or sell. But really what it boils down to for me, guys, is leave your emotion at the door. It's a pure logical exercise. Yeah. If you feel that risk is too high right now in your portfolio and you want to reduce that risk to get access to some gold and silver, by all means, go for it. I would never talk you out of that because it's the right decision for you. But if you feel like, you know what, we've come down 30%, we've seen this massive correction in the past. We've seen it in 2024 when we went to 73K down to 49K. We saw it again when we went from 108 down to 74. And now we're seeing it again, 126 down to $88,000. And I'm not somebody that's blind to the fact. I said, if we lose 100K, we're going to go to 88K in a straight line. What did we do? We lost 100K, went to $88,000 in a straight line, and now we're bouncing again. Short-term relief rally. But guys, don't sell in a panic. Just stay cool, calm, and collected. And I'm here for you guys.
100%. We're getting a bit of rain here, Bish. So
we might call it.
We might have to wind it up. But so all right. Our final question is regarding where Bitcoin is right now. And does it really even matter where it's going to go? I mean, I know a lot of people keep saying, well, where's it going to be and when's it going to be there? Yep. But I guess the big question here is,
thank you, sir.
Is, where do you see Bitcoin, for example? Let's go to March next year.
All right. I'm going to be really quick. Go. So that way we can get out of the rain.
Get out of the rain.
Right. Very quickly, guys. The way I see it, really simple. Bitcoin, somewhere around $92,000 at the moment. Over the next 6 months, there's a lot of volatility, a lot of geopolitical uncertainty. But we saw NVIDIA just beat on earnings. It's been absolutely rocketing like an absolute nonstop. Goes to show you how much demand there is for risk assets at the moment. My conservative estimate is that we are going to be retesting all-time highs within the next 6 months. So that would take us over $126,000. My honest assessment, and I could get it wrong. I'm here to say I'm not, I haven't seen the future. I just like to trade my view, trade my position. And I am expecting Bitcoin to be somewhere between, anywhere between 180 to 220K within the next 12 to 18 months.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to see interest rates lowering. We're going to see the fact that the Bank of Japan cannot bankrupt their government. The Federal Reserve cannot bankrupt the US government. So what are they going to do? They're going to ease. They're going to cut and they're going to print currency like no tomorrow. And in that environment, Bitcoin and of course gold and silver are going to do astonishingly well. So I'm going to remain being bullish. I'm not going to be bearish at range lows because that doesn't make sense to me. But I want to set a caveat that if I get it wrong, that's okay, guys. I want you to make a decision that makes sense for you. I'm bullish. I've been bullish for 10 years. I was bullish when Bitcoin went from $20,000 down to $3,000. I was bullish. Ask anybody. I was bullish when Bitcoin went from $70,000 in 2021 all the way down to $15,000. I was bullish, right? Nothing's going to change for me. Nothing's going to change. But if it changes for you and you want to do something that's a little bit less volatile, suits your risk profile, I'm not going to stop you. In fact, the reason why I built a Bitcoin brokerage is so that people can safely buy and sell without having to be, killed on spreads or killed on price premiums. Same day settlement when they choose to sell, the funds are back in their bank account the same day. The same day. That's okay. I don't mind, guys. But what I'm saying is do it with a plan. Tim is a man of conviction. Tim has a strategy. Tim has foresight. So do I. And I just think to myself, 10 years from now, Bitcoin's going to be $1 million. Gold's going to be $10,000. Silver's going to be somewhere in the 400, 500 range. And we're all going to be extraordinarily wealthy. But the only person that benefits from you chopping and changing your position and buying and selling is your Bitcoin broker and your bullion dealer. So my position remains the same. If you want to buy, buy. If you want to sell, sell. But if you're going to move your positions, do so with conviction so you can minimize transaction fees and you're not going to come back to reverse your position 3-4 months later. Because whenever you buy gold and silver, you're paying a spread, a price premium, right? And depending on whether you're buying gold coins or gold bars, you might be paying 4, 5, 6, 7, 8% over the spot price. Okay. And then if you change your position and you wish to sell and come back, then you're paying that 8% back to the dealer. So stay cool, guys. Stay calm, stay collected. If you want to sell, I'll be happy to do so for you. If you want to buy, I encourage you to dollar cost average, but we're all chill here. Do what suits you best. And if you want to have a call, give me a call or speak to my brokers. We're happy to help you.
All right, well, Bish, the rain's coming in a bit harder here.
Yes,
we've got a lot of tech equipment here.
Let's get out of it.
Probably shouldn't be in the rain.
No, we should.
So let's wind it up. But anyway, thank you so much, Baron. It's great to see you here. We're on a live tonight too, so I don't know how we're going to do that in the rain. But anyway,
Do it from upstairs.
we might go upstairs. We need a bit more light as well.
Yes,
So what do you think of my little light there?
I like it. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Anyway, it's great.
Sorry for all the ranting.
No, I love your ranting. It saves me ranting. I've ranted enough this week. My rant on Monday night was a bit of a wild one.
Yeah,
But
fair enough.
don't watch it back, for God's sakes. All right, look, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being part of Beat the Reset and listening to this analysis of what to do when Bitcoin dips. It's only a dip, that's it. And it's starting to bounce now. So I think I'd be getting in and buying the bounce. That's it for me, of course. The guy in the hat. I didn't have to do much today, actually, Bish. I just got to sit back and listen to your amazing information.
Thank you, my friend.
The Baron of Bitcoin, of course, from Stormrake, the man who knows literally everything there is to know about Bitcoin. So as we sign off on this rainy day at Circular Quay, as you can see Sydney Harbour Bridge in the background, we'd like to leave you the following message, and that is look after your health, look after your families, and as always,
Make
good
choices.
Yes. See you later, everybody. See you soon.